Previously on Project IGI.
How did the debrief go on you?
Very easily. Yosef had already been badly beaten, mostly by his uncle Yak. I don't know why, but Yak Praboy is one scared man. Here's what we know now. Yak is definitely in control of the business. He organized the heist of the warhead. When Yosef was kidnapped, the warhead was still in Yak's possession. It had not been delivered.
Yes, another success for Davy Jones' IGI.
Yes, all on your own. Well done. We'll cope with this then. Yak has over 50 properties and warehouses. The warhead could be in any one of them. However, Yak Praboy uses several secure military communication channels. Yosef gave us the channel's codes, and I've identified the key node. If I can get into the network, I can access Yak's private conversations. Everything he says, I'll know about, including the location of the warhead.
Break into this communications node. Proceed to this dome. It houses the main computers. They route all comms traffic. Once you're there, upload the virus and I'll do the rest. Oh, and you might want to escape afterwards.
The weather is holding, somewhat cloudy. We're expecting snow maybe tomorrow. Please try not to mess this one up, Jones.
Hello and welcome back to a jaunty adventure in the sun featuring David Llewellyn-Jones, King of the World. So what's the weapons check? We've got a knife, a Glock and an M16. Where's the MP5? Oh dear, it looks like stealth's out of the question. I'm no good at this. Let's have a look at what we're up against. Off on this left side we've got the actual entrance. There's an office building, a checkpoint, and all of that kind of leads through numerous gates into separate parts of the base itself. Our first priority is actually to get into the right hand side of the base. We've got a gate over here that kind of leads off into a fenced area, and that sort of takes us around out the other side of the base, but we don't need to worry about that right now. Of course we've got cameras to worry about as well, especially this one, but we'll come back to that soon enough. Let's take a look at the map. You can see objectives 1 and 2 there. Objective 1 is that we have to get a key card, and that allows us to get into the radar dome itself at objective number 2. And once we've got that done, we can then head off to be extracted at objective number 3 over there. That sounds straightforward enough. Let's make our way down. On our way, we can see the watchtower over there. Now we really want to avoid going in that general direction. Once that guy sees you, he kind of doesn't let up. He can see you at almost any point in the map. So just to make your life easier, it's best to just avoid him at the start. If you do poke around and start shooting at him, you'll generally just alert one of the other natives and they'll come after you instead. So, give a hoot, don't shoot. Moving away from bad jokes, let's go and do some more nitpicking. Yeah, that's good. Over here we've got another bit of wall that's inset, and yeah, over here we've got another 2 bits of wall which are overlapping, and you can see the TAD fighting happening there. Fascinating. So what's our plan to get inside? Let's take a look at the map. To get inside, there's really only 2 guards that we need to worry about. You can see them down at the bottom here. One of them is actually on top of the entrance to this building, and the other one is down below doing a circuit of the building. He goes up towards the checkpoint and then left onto the camera. Now ideally what you want to do is wait for the guy on top of the building to go back inside and the patrolling guy to move onwards. And then you can get in behind it. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, it's not as easy as it sounds. It's actually pretty difficult to get in here without that guy up top seeing you. When he goes inside the building, he can see you through those windows, and you've got a very short space of time with which to actually make your move. While we're waiting for the guys to get into position, how about we have ourselves a little joke? This one comes from Great Wind and goes something like this. Doctor, doctor, I think I'm a tiger. Why do you think that? Well, I'm not lying. Holy shit. Can we ban him for that? Our men are in position. Go, go, go! Shoot this blind guy in the face. Pause for a second. You see this guy? Yeah, we alerted him. Not that it really matters anyway, because we got spotted by the guy in the window. Come here! I'm fed up. Okay, what happens if we just rush in? That went a lot better than expected. The last time I played this level, I must have taken about 10 or 12 goes just to get through this section stealthily. And in the end I didn't actually need to, I could just rush in and kill people and pretty much have the same result. Just activate this lift and... oh, I wonder why I can't get in this door. And here's why. If you set off the alarm, a bunch of Spetsnaz guys come flooding out. And if you time it right, you can squeeze your way through the door while they're running out. This also shows you that they spawn in waves. The first 3 have already gone and the next 3 have just appeared. We've got 1 more to go. Oh, there he goes. He didn't see us, so he's lagged it off, and we're gonna go and kick his ass. If you're wondering why I'm chasing this guy, here's why. Ow! What the? Stab! And back to the sneaky run. Going up. Wait. What's down here? I don't like this. If you listen closely, you can hear the ambient sounds playing in this basement, which includes birds. It's a little weird to hear that when you're underground. You can find a few goodies down in this basement. It's a good thing it comes down here automatically, otherwise we probably would have missed it. First up is a new handgun, the Desert Eagle. We'll show it off in a little bit. And in the other room with these bunk beds is a medical syringe. So let's just make our way back up to the 2nd floor. Lingerie again. Well, like all of the other weapons, it all kind of comes down to random luck. It took 3 to 4 hits to kill that first guy, but only 1 hit to kill the second one. And I guess part of the equation comes down to how good you are at these games in general, but since I'm so good, it kind of cancels that part out. Sorry, something stuck in my throat there. Across the way we can see the blinking light of the camera, which causes me so much trouble. We zoom in a bit, we can see the guy patrolling around the building. He's in line of sight of that camera, and whenever he gets to this open area, if he sees you, he just stands his ground. And you have to kill him, obviously, and that puts him dying in front of the camera, and that sets off the alarm. Oh, and this camera above us also sees anyone who dies in that courtyard. Oh yeah, getting the cameras is very important. Before we go outside, we can go out onto this balcony and take care of that camera. And doing that shows us that there's a guy hiding behind some boxes there. If you don't take the opportunity to get him now, he'll probably get you whenever you go through the gates. Here's a funny thing I found when I was trying to take a shortcut down off one of the balconies. If you manage to get the angle just right when you're jumping off this, When you land on the stairs, you go right through them. You end up landing on a bit of the geometry below in one of those 2 rooms in the basement. Usually I land on the smaller room rather than the one with the bunk beds, so let's just drop into that. Not really much more than that. We do lose health from falling, but it does give us the opportunity to get the drop on this guy. Hakiba! Now that the building's clear, we can make our way down and put our boots on concrete and make our way further on into the base. First step is to go to the checkpoint. We've got 2 things we need to do there. First one is, if I get it right, to flip the switch to open the gate, and secondly to disable the remaining cameras. Off to the gate, and we can finally take care of this guy without having to worry. And I've got something special for the watchtower guy. Ah, heartwarming gift. And that's 2 of the 3 cameras gone. Before we go any further, let's take a step into this power generator room. We're not going to go down the ladder, but we're just going to get on it. And if we wiggle the camera about, we can kind of poke through the wall. And this seems to be a pretty common thing for power generators. There's a set of boxes down there. They're just kind of floating in the void, and I don't know why they're there, but it seems to be a common thing. Anyway, let's get back on track. This particular gate, once you open it, takes us to the radar dome, but we're not going that way yet. And if we were to go this way, we get all the way to the radar dome and find that the door will not open, meaning that we do indeed have to finish our first objective in order to get inside. Another bugger hiding behind some boxes. Destination is that single-story office building over there, but we'll take a look about first. Bit of warehouse, and behind it we can see one end of the fence that wraps around 2/3 of the base. Got a couple of guys, we'll just sort of take them out. Eventually we'll have to deal with them anyway, so we might as well get 1 or 2 now. I'm looking about for a way to climb onto the telegraph wires there, but I don't think there is any. Into the warehouse, we've got some goodies we can pick up. Nothing particularly special though. One last thing to look at before we go into the office. Here we've got a bit of geometry that appears to be some cellar doors. They don't go anywhere, and also we can walk through it. And not only that, if we duck, we can see through the walls. Here you can see shooting through the walls in action. This actually does work. If you know they're there, you can just fire at people. We can kill everybody we see here, but that would be cheating, so let's just back off from that, and then we'll get on with playing things fairly. Alarm. Some ammo for the M16, don't mind if I do. Peeking out the window, we can see a double-layered fence between us and the radar dome. Not quite there yet, so let's keep going. Nope, camera. There doesn't seem to be anything else. Some of the most nerve-wracking moments in the game are when I'm trying to shoot a camera that can actively see me. I know I've only got a short amount of time, and the increasing beeps just kind of make me more tense. But we got through this well unscathed. A bit of nudging around here shows us that we can jump onto the cellar doors, but we can walk through them. Probably just a quirk of the engine. nothing hidden behind the sofa. There was a guy running past the window, which means he's on his way, so we best set a trap. Ah! Okay, here it's quite easy to miss the objective. I'm going to purposely miss it. You probably didn't even notice that it was there, but we'll come back to it. Here's the hole we shot through when we killed that guy through the wall. This is generally how it goes when you're playing this level. You end up getting through that room and then out into the outside area. Kind of follow the fence along and kill everyone you see. Eventually you get to a dead end. It kind of looks like a dead end. If you're me, you've probably forgotten that you can even climb fences, and this one you can, and that does take you right back to the very start where you got into this particular office area. But we're going to go back and actually complete that objective. Boing, boing. If I'm not in any danger, usually I jump around. If we look at the map screen, there isn't really any help here. It just says where the key card is, but since we can't see through the roof, we can't actually pinpoint it anywhere. And here it is. Nicely labelled key card for us. How handy. We'll grab that and we'll leg it outside. As far as the base goes, we're done, so we can take that gate that we were looking at before, follow the fence along, and it'll eventually take us to the radar dome. Eventually. Give me a credit card and I don't care. Give me a credit card and I don't care. Give me a credit card and I don't care. Take that, you stupid card. Heads up! 4. I'm a simpleton. Okay. We've got the key card, so let's kick this door in. And there's no one inside, so where do we go? Well, we go up the ladder. And we've got a computer here. So we'll bash our big meaty fists against it. And Anya decides to have a chat with us. She tells us that Pruboy has already sold the warhead, so we're kind of screwed. We need to actually find him now. And eventually she shuts up and we can go for extraction. But before we do that, we can keep using the computer. We can really get that virus in there. Just mash it in. Get in there. Yeah, let's just go. So, what now? Well, we're going over this ridge and then we're just going to get out of there. We can't actually just run over and do it straight away. We have to clear out some of the bad guys. We've got a barracks and a building of some sort. There's 2 guys kind of hanging around the barracks and the helipad. There's not really much to be worrying about there. It's the office building. It's got about 3 guys sort of mucking about and making things difficult for us. So what we're going to do is climb up onto the ridge and follow it around behind the building, and then we can see if we can get the guys that way. On the roof of the building, we've got a guy doing a patrol. We got lucky in that he's just beginning the portion of the patrol where he's actually facing away from us the majority of the time. We've got another guy roaming around the bottom, and he's going to be just leaving past as we make our approach in, which is pretty much ideal, so we should just leg it in as quickly as we can and take advantage of the situation. It was very tempting to go and knife him in the back, but I didn't want to risk anyone else seeing, so we'll just get up the ladder and we'll come back to him. Oh, this is going to be cutting it fine. Go, go, go. Oh, shit! Lucky to get out of that alive. Good as new. Right, so what do we do next? Well, this actually introduces something new. We'll see this a couple of times during the rest of the game. It really doesn't come up often enough because I think it's a really cool way to get into buildings. But let's have a look around. I know there's at least 2 guys around this building that we have to kill. Sometimes he's over there. No, can't really see him. Oh, fuck, there they are. Oh, shit, shit! That could have gone a lot worse. Well, I think that's all of them. We've just got 2 guys left. Well, we might as well have a look around the building while we're here. I could be wrong, and I often am, but I think this building is unique. I certainly don't remember seeing this building before up to this point. Maybe it comes up in 1, maybe 2 missions in the future. I'll kind of have to poke about and see. But it's a fairly big building for not really having much going on. We've got 3 different levels, and there's just kind of rooms. We've got computers and cabinets and stuff, and it's even got a basement. And in there we've got a bunch of sort of computery stuff. It's supposed to be a communications center, so I guess you're gonna have some sort of appropriate equipment somewhere. If anything, I probably would have expected to have uploaded the virus here rather than doing it at the radar dome. I think they kind of missed something. What they should have done was say, okay, you programmed the radar tower, and then it says, oh no, we can't get all of the information, something's moved on, we need you to go to the communication center, and then fanny around there and get everything going, and that would have worked, rather than just coming here and killing everyone, because you don't need to go inside this building to do it, and you kind of miss out on an opportunity. Yeah! No! Well, let's see if we can end on a Desert Eagle kill. This hopefully won't be too bad. Oh, God. Fucking hell. I am awful at this game. Oh, what do we do now? Well, nothing really. We just kind of stand here. I would have expected that it would make you just go to the helipad and then a cutscene would happen where the helicopter would come and pick you up, but you have to actually wait for the helicopter to fly in. And our ride is finally here. Okay, I'll see you next time for some really big explosions.